Hello there and welcome. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about the newest shingles vaccine. You may have heard of it, Shingrix, which came out in about 2017. I've actually had it, so I was going to talk a little about my experience with it and give you some ideas of what to expect if you were thinking of having that vaccination. So there was a shingles vaccine around for many years. What is shingles? Shingles is an illness that's related to, it's caused by the same virus that causes chickenpox. And if you have had chickenpox when you were younger, the virus lives and stays somewhere in your body. I believe in your nerves. I'm not a doctor, but I believe it stays in your body and it can re-erupt many years later and give you shingles. Shingles is a disease that nearly always affects just one side of the body because it runs along a nerve. So for example, some people have maybe had it in their face, or more often you get it like on the side of your body, and it would go around your body but stop at the midline. It won't go past the midline. So it'll come around your body, it might go around your back, but it stops and it's just on one side. And it can start with a prickling, tingling feeling or with pain, and it can become extremely uncomfortable. So a little bit of information here that I have is that shingles usually creates pain, as I said, and the pain can actually become quite severe, especially in older adults. I believe children, when they get shingles, they get it very rarely, but they tend to get it much milder. Other symptoms you could get would be fever or headache or chills, the same sorts of things that you might get with any other viral illness. Occasionally it can lead to other complications. So shingles is really not a disease that you really want to be messing around with, and you would really like to avoid it as much as possible. It becomes far more prevalent in people over the age of 50, and one of the things that can happen, as I said, it causes pain along a nerve, and that nerve pathway can sort of get I don't know what the word would be, but it can get accustomed to creating pain so that even after the infection clears up, you still get a type of pain. There's a word for it here. It's called Postherpetic neuralgia, or PHN. And it's a type of pain that persists after the shingles is gone and the infection is over. And it can be really quite debilitating. I have known people who've had this, and it's extremely unpleasant. And for many years, there was a live shingles vaccine that had mediocre success. It wasn't terrifically well, I was going to say tolerated. It wasn't particularly effective, shall we say, until this one came out. So this is called recombinant zoster vaccine, RZV, and I believe the brand name is Shingrix. So I myself had this vaccination a year or so ago, and the first thing that I noticed was a lot of swelling at the site. It all went red, and it was really very sore for about 2 or 3 days. But actually worse than that, I had symptoms very much like flu. I had a headache, a fierce headache for about 2 days, and I thought I was getting a fever. I thought I was coming down with a bug, and then I realized it must be the vaccine. So really, I had the vaccine in the morning, and by that evening, I believe it was a Friday evening, I was feeling pretty under the weather. I was feeling headachy and a little hot, and I believe on Saturday and Sunday, I spent the whole day in bed feeling that I was quite unwell. But by Monday, I had started to return back to normal. And these side effects are apparently quite common with the Shingrix vaccine, although they are less severe in people as we get older. Probably because as we get older, our immune system is not quite as strong. So maybe we don't have such a strong reaction to the vaccination, which would be a good thing. I did then wait. You're supposed to wait 2 to 6 months to have the second vaccination, because it comes in a set of 2. And I remember that it was really popular at the time that I was getting it a year or 2 ago. It had just come out, and it was very hard to get that second vaccination. And I think I had it after 6 months. I was supposed to have it at 6 months, but it was a little later. And when I had the second vaccination, I didn't have any of the problems of the first one. I didn't have the swelling and the headache and the fever. I didn't feel unwell at all. So that's worth knowing. But if you are going to have the vaccine, it's worth remembering you might want to have it at a time when you don't have something really important the next day, because you might feel a little unwell. Obviously, there are people who should not get the vaccine. It says here, if you have any severe life-threatening allergies, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, if you're not feeling well, and there's always then risks of having a vaccine reaction. And you can probably learn more, I suppose, from your doctor. They can advise you. But the beauty of this vaccine is that Shingrix is over 90% effective. And you know, no vaccine is 100% effective, but to be over 90% effective is really quite astounding. And so that's definitely a vaccine that you should discuss with your doctor if you think it's appropriate for you to have, and your doctor will tell you what they think about whether it's appropriate for you to have. But I want you to know that it's just really effective, that it can cause side effects for a day or two, and yeah, just it's definitely worth something that you want to think about. All right, hope that was helpful. Take care. Bye-bye. Remember to try my other playlists. Each one is like a 1-hour class in the studio. And check out my other videos, including health and wellness tips, product reviews, and more. See you soon.